Today I will be discussing criminology in India. It involves the study of various forms of crimes, the reason working behind an incidence of crime, and its consequences. Regulation of crime by government authorities also comes under the purview of this subject. Being an interdisciplinary subject, it draws heavily from the fields of psychology, sociology, and laws. So I listed some of the common offenses committed in India. Number 1 is illiteracy. Number 2 is poverty. Illiteracy is caused by poverty. And people in India commit crimes because they lack educational background. Number 3, ineffective law and justice values. Number 4, intoxication, which includes drugs and alcohols. Number 5, childhood care. Number 6, family condition or family problems. And lastly, political aggression. Committing crimes in India have their own ways of punishing it. So, kinds of punishment. Section 53 of Indian Penal Code defines the various kinds of punishment. Section 53 says that the punishment to which offender are liable under the provision of this case, or rather code, are number 1, death. Number 2, imprisonment for life. Number 3 is omitted. Number 4 is imprisonment, which is of two descriptions, namely number 1, rigorous, that is with hard labor, and number 2, simple. Number 5, forfeiture of property, and lastly, fine. These are the types of punishment mentioned in the Indian Penal Code. Punishment of death is also called capital punishment. Under this punishment, a person is hanged till he dies. The punishment is provided only for serious offenses like murder and others. A death sentence is the highest degree of punishment awarded under Indian Penal Code. It is the very horrible and painful mode of punishment. Capital punishment is awarded in rarest of rare cases. The punishment is awarded by the court of law and sanctioned by the appropriate government. So tinakakabil dito ay, a death sentence is the highest degree of punishment awarded kasamid lang ti Pilipinas. Ngayon, di 2006, they implemented the death penalty on Republic Act 9346, which is pasabdingan that death penalty. So nag-downgrade ni death penalty ti life imprisonment dito yung Philippines. So going back to our discussion, the main purpose of awarding death penalty is deterrence. It discourages the person who plan to do the same in future. It is far more powerful and effective mode of deterrence than life. Imprisonment, because the fear of death for human being is very terrible than that of life imprisonment. The award of capital punishment is matter of great controversy. Many believe that it is morally excluded, and others believe it is morally necessary. Life imprisonment. The word imprisonment for life was substituted for transportation for life by Act 26 of 1955. In punishment of the life, the accused is to remain in prison until he is alive or until pardoned. Imprisonment for life means imprisonment for the whole of the remaining term of the convicted person's natural life, otherwise commuted to a fixed period by the appropriate government. Section 55 of the IPC and Section 43 of the CRPC provides power to appropriate government for the commutation of death sentence. The appropriate government may reduce or suspend the sentence of imprisonment for life to imprisonment for a term of not more than 14 years of either description. Rigorous and simple. The term of imprisonment for life may be consisted as 20 years when there is a need of calculating the term of imprisonment. As Section 57 of the Indian Penal Code says, in calculating fractions of terms of punishment, imprisonment for life shall be reckoned as equivalent to imprisonment for 20 years. Rigorous imprisonment. Rigorous imprisonment is a form of imprisonment under which an accused or a prisoner convicted for a crime is kept in prison subject to hard labor such as agriculture, carpentry, drawing water, etc. Rigorous imprisonment is obligatory for the offenses given under the following two sections. No alternative for simple imprisonment is available. The sentence of imprisonment may be wholly rigorous or wholly simple and partly rigorous or partly simple. The Section 60 of Indian Penal Code authorizes the courts to decide the type of imprisonment. The following are some offenses which are punishable with rigorous imprisonment. Section 194 of LPC, giving or fabricating false evidence with intent to produce conviction of capital offense. Section 449 of IPC, house trespass in order to commit offense punishable with death. Section 392, robbery. Section 395, dacoity. Simple imprisonment is a form of imprisonment in which the accused or offender is confined to jail but not subject to any hard labor as in case of rigorous imprisonment. Simple imprisonment is awarded where a fine will not sufficient as to serve the purpose of the punishment. In the simple imprisonment, it is ensured that the accused should be kept away from the habitual or professional criminal. The simple imprisonment is awarded in the following offenses. Section 341, wrongful restraint. Section 403, criminal disapprobation of property. Section 500, 501, and 502, defamation. Section 509, word, gesture, or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Section 510, misconduct in a public place by a drunken person. Fine is defined as the monetary punishment. The fine imposed as the punishment in the crimes which are not of serious nature. It is very common mode of punishment. It generally imposed in less serious offenses such as breach of traffic rules and revenue. This system of punishment was used in almost all penal system. Financial penalty was either in shape of fine or compension or cost. In other words, they define it as lang ordinance. The Indian Penal Code. So let's talk about history of the Indian Penal Code. The Indian Penal Code is the official criminal code of the Republic of India. It is a complete code intended to cover all aspects in criminal law. It came in force in 1862 in all British presidencies, although it did not apply to the princely states, which had their own courts and legal systems. So, there it is, history nan. The first draft of the Indian Penal Code was prepared by the First Law Commission, chaired by Thomas Babington Macaulay. The draft was based on the simple codification of the law of England while at the same time borrowing elements from Napoleonic Code and Louisiana Civil Code of 1825. So, what is the need for Indian Penal Code, or what is the purpose of Indian Penal Code? The Indian Penal Code is the main criminal code for the country. It includes all the criminal offenses including crimes related to human body, property, conspiracy, crimes against the state or public tranquility, etc. Anyone found guilty of a crime is punishable under IPC or Indian Penal Code.